to textile mills and to the consumer. We already do this, so this is just us telling our story and then putting some verification around that. So how did we get here? Why are we doing this? Mainly because the current sustainability initiatives for cotton are based out of India and Africa. They're not based in the United States, but they are based in other countries. And there's been issues that have arisen regarding the consistency of supply and quality for these programs. A good example is, like India, they have a sustainability initiative in cotton, but if they just want to shut off supply, they can. They just shut off supply, we're done. So there's issues with supply. And in Africa, there's issues with quality. There can be issues with quality. And we feel like we grow the highest quality, most consistent supply in the world in the United States. So that's what this is about. And also because of our global downstream awareness through the Certified FiberMax program and Authentic Stoma programs, we have a global downstream awareness as to the fiber quality of FiberMax. So we were approached by major retail and home furnishing brands to pilot a program in the United States. Some of these major names are Nike, Ralph Lauren, so like polo shirts, and then IKEA. You guys have heard of IKEA. So these companies approached Bayer to help deliver what they would consider sustainable cotton. So we actually did a pilot program the last 2 years. It was done in South Texas, where basically we were the facilitator between a couple of large farmers down there and the Nikes, the Ralph Laurens, or the IKEAs. And we put together, we facilitated that relationship, and we delivered what we consider a sustainable product to the textile mill. And so we were able, so based upon that success, so actually the producer got a premium for that cotton because it was considered sustainable. And then those companies could market it as sustainable cotton. And so we were asked to develop a US-wide program for this. And so that's where the brand E3 comes from, that a retailer can market it underneath. Because you guys have probably heard of the Certified FiberMax programs we've been trying to work on the last few years. Where we struggled with that, because we're trying to get some more downstream pull for Texas cotton or FiberMax cotton, because we were trying to work on that initiative, was the barriers to that was that Nike and Ralph Lauren and IKEA, they didn't want to brand with Bayer, or they didn't want to brand with FiberMax, because the branding managers for those companies saw that as your co-branding. So this E3 is a platform that they can actually brand and go forward with. Certified E3 cotton starts on Certified FiberMax and Authentic Stoma farms and extends supply chain for retail use. So these IKEAs and Nikes, they actually pulls this E3 cotton through. So why E3 cotton? It satisfies the current consumer demands for proven sustainable farming practices, and it's traceable for farms where it's produced. How I relate to this is there's a segment of the population out there, and you guys know this, is that they want to know that they're buying products, either it be food or fiber, from sustainable farms, whatever that means. I mean, that sustainable is such a huge word. There's so much clutter in the marketplace of what sustainable is. Is it organic? Is that what sustainable is? I mean, there's a definition for sustainable, but it's close. Sorry, I can hear myself fine. Thank you. Excuse me. So there's a lot of clutter in the marketplace of what sustainable means. So, I mean, like I said, I think I already said it's like. Is it organic? There's just a lot of clutter. We've all heard the Rainforest Alliance coffee. We've seen those tags on things. That's sustainable. And then it's also the other piece of this is traceable where the farms it's produced. How I relate to this is, how many of you have been to a Five Guys restaurant? There's a couple of them in Lubbock. You guys, when you walk in, you see those sacks of potatoes sitting there? And on those sacks of potatoes, it's got a farmer's name. And if you notice on the back wall, it tells you which farmer produced those French fries, or those potatoes, those French fries are coming from that day. So there's a segment of the population that wants to know that what I'm buying is sustainable, and they want to know where it comes from. So this is about that. Is that there is a segment there. So I want to spend a little bit of time explaining the E3. what this is, it's a global brand backed from Bayer Crop Science, and it's backed with verification. So it means it's environmentally responsible production of cotton. You guys are already doing this, but this is about telling your story. It's economically viable through economically viable methods, which were economical, otherwise we wouldn't be sitting here today. And it's equitable socially, so that we're doing the right things for our environment and for our communities. So I'll go into this a little bit about each one of these. So equitable. What does equitable mean under this umbrella? It's socially equitable farming operations work to address these issues, working in living conditions of growers and laborers, and meets the needs of the surrounding community, and it's done safely. So all this stuff you guys are already doing. I mean, if you weren't working to improve your quality of life every year, then you would. We all work to improve our quality of life. It meets the needs of the surrounding community. We all work and live in farming communities, so it meets the needs of the community, and then it's done safely. All this stuff is stuff that you guys are already doing. We're just trying to tell your story, and hopefully maybe get paid a little bit for that. So, economical. This one's pretty simple. A truly sustainable farming operation must also be economically viable. If you guys weren't economically viable, you wouldn't be sitting here today. So it's pretty simple. It meets the individual economic needs of farmers, farm families, farm workers, and the consumer itself. So that one's pretty easy. And then the environment. This is where it can get a little bit tougher to prove the environmental piece of this. So basically, the environmental piece is it's conserving resources, or conserving resources is a key aspect of sustainable farming. So part of this initiative is how do you prove that we're doing this in an environmentally conscious way? We know we are, but how do we prove that to the consumer industry, or the consumer? So what we use is a third party, we're going to use what we call a field print calculator, which documents how choices impact natural resources, operational efficiency, and we compare that to local averages. So this is basically, it's a field print calculator where you go in and you put down what your farming practices are, and it gives you a benchmark as to whether it's considered economical. And so I know, and you guys know, that what you're doing is economical. We're not burning through natural resources faster than we're replenishing. Water is, of course, one thing, but we talked about that a little while ago, and we got all kinds of rain coming, so we're good. But then in the operational efficiency, that you're running an efficient operation, and it's compared to local averages. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the field print calculator and where that comes from. The field print calculator is developed by a company called Field to Market. Field to Market is an alliance for sustainable agriculture. And what it does is it measures your influence on energy use, climate impact, soil loss, water use. So it's basically a benchmarking program is what it is. It benchmarks where you're at today, and it compares that to local averages to say, yes, this is sustainable, or this is environmentally friendly. Field to Market. The critical piece of this is that Field to Market is a third party. This is not Bayer Crop Science or Nike or IKEA saying that, oh, okay, we judge you as sustainable. This is a third-party organization that does this. So who the Field to Market Alliance is, it's a 50-member representation of agribusinesses, food companies, retailers, conservation organizations, and other nonprofits like universities. So Bayer Crop Science is a member of that, but this is a third-party organization that they work on sustainability initiatives. And basically they're committed to continuous improvement on productivity, environmental quality, and human well-being. So really, how does this program work? Enrollment's voluntary, but it is verified through the Field Print Calculator. Basically, it's a self-assessment of an operation. It documents areas for improvement compared to your neighbors or compared to the industry. And how I relate to this would be row water irrigation versus drip or versus pivot. So it shows hot spots of where you're at in your operation, based upon the third party. And then it basically demonstrates a commitment to sustainable production, optimizing soil management, water usage, pesticide applications, all this stuff we're already doing. So it just documents that and benchmarks that. So the nuts and bolts of this thing, how does this really work? Is basically you guys would sign a sustainability agreement. You're committed to self-improvement, which you already are, and it's subject to third-party verification. But how this really works is that you can take this E3 or this certification, so your bales get certified as E3 sustainable. You take this certification, and this certification follows those bales through the channel, so to speak. And it's used to follow the cotton from farm to the supply chain to the consumer and back to the farm. So how this really works is that, let's say Ralph Lauren says, I want to buy 500 bales of sustainable cotton to produce this certain shirt. They'll contact the Field to Market Alliance or Bayer Crop Science and say, I need 500 of these bales. We've got the bale numbers because they've been certified. We go access these bale numbers. They're sold through they're pulled through the channel. They consume those bales to building of this shirt or these pants or the shoe or whatever. And then they directly pay a premium to the farmer for that bale because it's sustainable cotton. And then they'll go on and brand it as sustainable cotton. So this shirt was grown with sustainable cotton or whatever the case may be. They'll brand that and they'll charge a premium for it. And then you guys are going to pay for it. That's really how it works. So why E3 cotton? It's branded E3 to the cotton textile industry. It directly connects retailers to U.S. growers. It's proven high quality fiber. It's third party verified through sustainably grown cotton for the brand. And then it builds consumer confidence in these retail brands. Because there is a segment of the population, like I talked about, that is demanding sustainable cotton for a shirt or whatever. That fits that need. It is exclusively on certified FiberMax or authentic Stoneville brands. It's grown in the USA, which is known to deliver consistent quality. This is demanded by the textile industry for certain segments, and it is traceable back to the farm and the farmers that grew it. I was going to open this up for questions because I got plenty of time for questions. Any questions? Yes, sir.
You mentioned that the end user,
you mentioned that the end user would send a check back directly to the farmer. So if you were in the pool or other type of marketing, it's not just the Bayer type marketing system, it would work for you as well?
Yeah, because those bales will be identified in the pool, because the pool has to identify the bales, right? So it's tied to those bale numbers. It wouldn't affect the pool. And I know Brent has been working with some folks to make sure that it doesn't affect that. I mean, he's early on in the payment process and the additional funds that you would receive. But from where he stands right now, that it does not affect anything in the pool. It's a premium above that for those bale numbers. It's a great question. That was one of the questions I had early on.
Any idea what that premium would be?
I don't know that. I should have asked before I came about the South Texas pilot, but I don't know what that is. I can get that. I think it depends on really the retailer also. I mean, I'm sure Nike or Ralph Lauren would pay probably a different premium. So I don't know the answer to that. That's a great question. I wish I did.
we
Yes, sir.
raise the grade of cotton that'll get paid premium in West Texas.
Excuse me?
Do we raise the grade and staple length of cotton that will be paid in West Texas?
You can, yes. I mean, to answer your question, yeah.
Would you repeat that question first?
So the question was, do we raise the grade of cotton? That's demanded for this. And the answer to that is yes. Through that Certified FiberMax program, there is demand for that. We've struggled with how that works. You probably can relate to that is you have to identify those bales. They have to be separate from the pool in that regard. So there is demand for that cotton, yes. And it's more about sustainability. To me, is what we've learned through this process. It's not so much about the fiber. It is about the fiber quality, but it's also that it's sustainable. And that's really the buzzword here.
Jason, if I could,
Yeah.
Dr. Phil Johnson has been in conversation about the field print calculator for more than a year here now, and if he could talk a little bit about it, I think that'd be great.
I hope you would, because you're probably well better versed than me.
Now,
About a little over a year ago, we were approached by the National Cotton Council, Dr. Bill Robertson, and they were involved in this field to market program. They're one of the sponsors of it, and they've been working with the field market people to test this field print calculator. And he was in town, we had a discussion with him, and one of the things that we have out of the TAWC project is data. Because over the time that we've been in this project, we've been collecting the input data, and we have a complete set of data that's needed to put into this calculator. And so we were able to go back and put in 5 years worth of data. And they were in the process of tweaking the calculator. It was it that we were able to be involved in part of the process of developing the calculator to give what the results that were needed to measure sustainability. And so that's one of the things that the project that we're involved in has been able to do, is to take this data, put it into the calculator, look at the results, and help them develop the calculator where it gives the type of results that we're needing to do this type of project. One of the things we've had conversations with Mayor along, and we have this market out there for sustainability, and I believe that we're in a position to meet part of that. And the calculator, it's really, once you kind of get set up, it's not hard to use. It's web-based, and you put your data in. And once you get that in, well, it gives you your output. So it's not a very difficult process to use. But that's one of the things that the TAWC project has been doing.
other questions for Jason or Phil?
I'll be around if you're just bashful, you can catch me lunch or something. Thank you very much.